My best friend vanished with $10,000 I borrowed him. 5 years later, he showed up at my home in $250,000 car. That sentence still feels unreal when I say it out loud, but every word of it is true. 5 years ago, Jake wasn't just my best friend, he was practically my brother. We met freshman year of college, shared instant noodles when we were broke, and stayed up until 3 a.m. talking about businesses we were going to build one day. After graduation, life hit us differently. I got a stable office job with predictable paychecks. Jake couldn't sit still. He hated the idea of working for someone else, and he was obsessed with building something of his own. One night at my apartment on Brookline Avenue, he showed me a prototype of a budgeting app he had been coding for months. He said it would help young people manage money without feeling stupid or overwhelmed. He had passion in his eyes, but he had a problem. His investor backed out last minute. He needed $10,000 to finish development and launch the first version. That money was everything I had saved over 3 years. I remember staring at my banking app, knowing that pressing transfer meant going back to zero. But I also remembered every late night we promised we would bet on each other. So I sent it. For the first month, he called me constantly with updates about beta users and small wins. Then the updates became less exciting. Then they became excuses. Then they stopped completely. His phone went straight to voicemail. His social media vanished. The co-working space he rented told me he hadn't been there in weeks. I felt stupid. I felt betrayed. But what hurt the most was not knowing why. I replayed every conversation in my head, searching for the moment I missed something. Months turned into a year. Then 2. I rebuilt my savings slowly, picking up extra freelance work and cutting every unnecessary expense. Every time someone mentioned his name, my chest tightened. Part of me wanted to hate him. Part of me still hoped there was a reason. Then 5 years later, on a quiet Sunday afternoon, I heard an engine outside that didn't belong in my neighborhood. It was smooth and powerful, the kind of sound you feel before you see. I looked through the window and saw a car parked in front of my driveway that easily cost $250,000. Then the door opened, and Jake stepped out. He looked different. Not flashy, not arrogant, just steady. He walked to my door like he had rehearsed this moment 100 times. When I opened it, he didn't smile. He just said, "I owe you an explanation." He told me the app had failed hard. He had burned through the money and more. He said he was too ashamed to face me after losing everything I trusted him with, so he disappeared and started over from nothing. He worked delivery jobs at night, learned marketing during the day, and built a second product quietly. That one took off, not overnight, but slowly and painfully. Then he handed me an envelope. Inside was a check for $50,000. He said, "You were the only person who believed in me before I had proof." As he walked back to that $250,000 car, I stood there realizing something bigger than the money. Sometimes the risk isn't about losing cash. It's about finding out who someone really is. And I still wonder to this day. If your best friend asked you for everything you had, would you bet on them?